Look at that. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Addie, and this week on 7 Internet Addicts, it's Story Week. And so for Story Week, I'm going to be telling you guys the story of the best summer of my life. The best summer of my life I can never repeat. I've never experienced something so eye-opening, so different, and yet exactly the same. I spent the summer of 2012, the last summer before I left my safe haven and entered a brand new world. I spent the summer in a land across the globe, a land so foreign to me. I spent the summer in 4 countries, 4 amazing countries: Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Thailand. We flew from my country in California 20 hours to Bangkok, Thailand. That first night I'll never forget. Because although we had barely slept the night before, we walked and walked for hours, noticing every flower, every person, every detail. And yet, in a land so different from my own, I found so many similarities. Bangkok is jammed to the top with locals and tourists and animals. I could talk forever about the city, about how amazingly beautiful every pot and pan was, about how scared we were about crossing the street, everything. Anyways, in Thailand we went a lot of places. We saw the pyramids and temples, we saw elephants, we got to know the people and children in small villages and big. We made an attempt at understanding real hurt and loss and what it really takes to overcome it. But the main thing I learned in Thailand is not to settle, not to accept something you know you don't deserve. I learned to stay sleeping in a bed full of maggots. Yeah, maggots. These maggots discovered by my mother crawled everywhere if you let them. But this hotel wouldn't let us leave, wouldn't restore the money my parents paid for the next week of us sleeping in that infested room. In fact, do you know what they offered us? They offered to change our sheets. Well, we left without our money or a goodbye. We didn't settle, and that meant a lot. Cambodia. In Cambodia, I realized that a simple life can be as or even more rewarding than a life full of things and clutter. This was very striking in a small riverside town called Kampot. I got my first motorcycle ride from a random guy we met on the street. My parents trusted him, and I trusted him. We trusted him enough to go on a motorcycle ride around town with him. Just me. I've never met this stranger before. I've never been on a motorcycle. He could easily kidnap me or hurt me or anything. But at the pit of my stomach, I knew he wouldn't. I learned to trust my instinct. In Cambodia, we went in caves and saw temples and pyramids and Siem Reap. We drank from coconuts and met crazy monkeys. I even got to drive a motorcycle. I ended up crashing, but let's not talk about that. Vietnam. Here, I realized that actions have reactions. I learned a lot about the Vietnamese War. I saw the torture devices and the crippled and pictures, the memorials. It's really scarring. I was so ashamed and embarrassed about being American, I even pretended I was Canadian. But now I realize that I can't hide. I can't let the truth embarrass me that much. We did some bad stuff to that country, but it was a war. And sometimes you have to let go. We have to move on. Never forget, but move on. But at the same time, there's still so many people affected by this war today, so we can't move on. We can't leave those people behind. I had mixed emotions. I didn't know what to think. I don't know what to think. In Vietnam, we went to big cities and small. We went to Hanoi and Sapa, 2 cities that can't be more different, yet they're only a short distance away from each other. Hanoi, a city that you have no personal space. It's crowded and smells bad, but has beautiful artwork and architecture. In Sapa, a small mountain town with beautiful seas of rice paddies and amazingly kind people. In Vietnam, we had some crazy experiences, like someone stealing my blanket while I was sleeping and being trapped on a bus where they treat you as if you weren't even alive. But in Vietnam, I think I learned the most about me and the world in general. Laos. We didn't travel much in Laos. We mainly stayed in one town called Luang Prabang. It's the best town I've ever been to, with unbelievable people and breathtaking experiences. How can it not be? I sound like a tour book. I had the best day of my life here. It was a Wednesday and we went to a crystal clear lake in the middle of a rainforest and we swam with elephants. We jumped on their back and swam underwater with them. They're amazing. We went ziplining and boat rides to waterfalls and learned how to make poetry. We even went to this one zoo where a giraffe stuck their head in the bus we were staying at. Overall, this summer was unbeatable. Even though we only had the backpacks on our back and stayed at hotels that cost $25 a night, I felt like the luckiest girl in the world. The beauty of beaches and sunsets and the books I read, the people I met, this religion that I learned, and that feeling of awe will never escape my mind. I learned more on this vacation than I had my entire life combined. I'm so thankful and appreciative I had the opportunity to do this with my family, to travel and experience and learn. There you go, guys. That was the best summer of my life. Hope you like it. Bye.